Will Osprey is all elite, Viper this
It's
Saturday, and Hangman are two sick motherfuckers.
Oh
Welcome
yeah.
back. Welcome back to DA Wrestling. I'm Doug. What's going on, Andrew?
I am going probably insane with the fact that Randy Orton's coming back after this long stream layoff. Will
Yeah.
Osprey coming to AEW. I mean, there was thoughts of possibly WWE. That would basically turn to crap real quick, right? And yeah, you're right. Hangman Page and Swerve are nuts
Yes.
in a good way, but nuts.
So basically we're gonna get into everything that happened at Full Gear.
Yes.
Um, so if you listen to our last episode, basically we recorded that while Full Gear was going on, and we figured, we didn't really want to live react to things that we aren't actually watching. So, we decided to do a whole show kind of dedicated to it. And then
Yes.
at the end we'll touch on what happened on Raw last night, because I actually watched two-thirds of it live for the first time in about 3 months.
Yeah, Raw was pretty good last night. Like it's I
Yeah.
mean, I think the anticipation of the return of the Apex Predator was the one thing that
Oh yeah.
the rumors were swirling. I think that people probably brought. I mean, we don't really do ratings on this show, or we don't cover it because it's just to us, it's not really important. To some it is, and that's fine.
But
But to us,
really quickly, it was just like I actually caught the number today. It was the best they've done in the demo the entire NFL season.
really,
Yeah.
well, I mean, that's surprising considering it was the Chiefs and the
Yeah, it
Eagles.
was a Super Bowl rematch, and
Yeah,
they and
actually, I'm surprised that wasn't the Sunday nighter instead of the Monday night game. But
yeah,
hey,
it
yeah,
is what it
whatever.
is.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's full gear, dude.
yeah. Let's start with full
So
gear. Want to run
do you
by match, or you want to do just go wherever
just
the
let's
heart
just do
takes
what's
us?
to yeah, let's just I want to start with Will Osprey because that's
Let's start with
obviously
Osprey.
that's the biggest news coming out. So
Yeah,
uh there was pretty heavy rumors Saturday afternoon and it was pretty much confirmed it was going to be Will Osprey.
yes,
The last couple of weeks, yes, he's been linked to WWE, but
yes,
I think because of the already current relationship that he has with AEW, because of New Japan's relationship with AEW,
yeah.
I think it was kind of a no-brainer that he was coming.
That
Now,
yeah, that and Will has more options with AEW.
yeah, he could probably still do indie bookings and shit
Yes,
like that.
that was
So,
mentioned, I think, in part of the thing.
but but he did say on the Full Gear broadcast, they gave him a whole entrance
Yep.
um with his elevated theme that's a banger.
Mm-hmm.
And but he did say he's not coming in just yet
No.
because he's been with New Japan for 8 years and he wants to honor the commitments.
Yep.
They just announced, I believe yesterday, New Japan announced for Wrestle Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be Will Ospreay versus John Moxley versus David Finlay
Oh,
for the IWGP United States Championship.
that's gonna be a banger.
Oh, that's going to be a hell of a match. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not too big on David Finlay,
No.
but I mean, he's the leader of Bullet Club right now.
I think he wins that title.
I think obviously it's either Mox or Finlay that walks out with that.
Mm-hmm.
But um, the amount of guys that Osprey can work with in AEW that he hasn't even come across yet,
Snipped.
it's a long list, dude. Like I'm
You gotta
talking
think.
I'm talking Osprey Cole, Osprey Omega 3 somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
I'm talking, you know, God, Osprey and
I'm already thinking one.
Swerve, Osprey and
That'd be
Swerve.
a good one. But my thought now, the one I have, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's been done, and maybe it has. I don't know. Um, if he's healthy, Daniel
So
Bryan. or Bryan Danielson.
Ooh, Osprey and Danielson.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know if that was done before. I don't know.
Danielson is announced for the Continental Classic,
Yeah,
which basically I guess we can just kind of segue into that.
yeah.
That was announced on Dynamite, I believe, or
Mhm.
Collision this
Yeah.
week. That so basically it's going to be a round robin tournament with the same scoring as the Premier League. Three points for a win, 1 point for a time limit draw, and no points for a loss. It's going to be a round robin tournament, and I think the winner is going to be crowned at Revolution.
Yeah.
It's
Which
either
is
World's End or Revolution. It's one of those two.
might be World's End.
Could be.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to see a lot of it between Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision over the next.
Several weeks.
Well, World's
World's
End
End's
is
only about a month and a quarter away.
five weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 weeks away. So
So
I think, yeah.
that's gonna be an interesting tournament. Like I know,
But Danielson was the first one announced for it,
I
so
think Kingston's fighting in it as well.
that's interesting because I caught this over the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, Kingston said in an interview that I don't know I think it was on AEW TV, but when he declared for it, every single match that he has
Yep.
is going to be for the Ring of Honor and New Japan Strong championships.
Well, that's pretty cool.
He's defending his titles in every match that he has in that tournament. So that's going to be cool. So what do you want to talk about? We can go.
Let's start off with the first one. I don't think anybody saw us. I think nobody figured wasn't going to happen. Was Copeland was staying at Darby Allin? Obviously, won their match.
Yep.
It was really cool how they all came out with face paint.
They did that on Dynamite.
Yeah.
They did that on Dynamite last week.
Mm.
And I thought it was really cool how Edge painted Copeland painted one side of his face and Darby painted like the regular left side of his face.
Yeah, they basically mirrored each other's.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
looks like they were having a fun time. They were brought down the ring with everyone's favorite
Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah, who took a low blow from Christian, which okay, cool.
Well, they are pushing that Christian Edge thing too. It looks like that's going to happen. I'm guessing at World's End or Revolution, that match, because they didn't really get their hands on each other that much at the match.
Well, yeah, no, they didn't touch at all during that match, and it's coming.
It is. It's coming. I just question of when.
I'm fairly certain it's going to be World's End. I don't know if you want to stretch this all the way to Revolution.
They may want to, but it all depends on how fast they want to get this one over with, and then we have Copeland and a lot of other things.
Well, because think about it like this: Revolution's in February, I think.
Yeah.
And so that's 4 months away. Copeland came in the middle of October.
Yeah, right? Let's say October.
Well, he came in at Wrestle Dream, which actually, sorry, that was the beginning of October. So do you really want to spend his first 4 months on one story?
No.
When you really don't know how much time you have with him?
Yeah. Well, it's a multi-year deal, according to what
I
Copeland said.
I understand it's a multi-year deal, but
he is also pushing 50, isn't he?
He just turned 50, I think.
Yeah, he's somewhere in that range for sure.
But yeah, so I think the safest bet is that's going to be at World's End. Which is going to be it's got to be the blow off to this, because I mean, Christian's been feuding with Darby Allin since the summer.
Yeah. Who Who wins that match, Christian versus Copeland, you think?
Well, my rest
Thinking
my wrestling logic tells me the babyface always has to come out on top at the end.
that logic.
But well, I mean that's just the way wrestling's been forever.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just saying I don't. It could be a thing forever because we have to like every time. Sometimes I feel
If
that
he
the
beat
heel should win
if
the
he
feud.
like as long as the win is clean,
Mhm.
as long as the win is clean, no interference, no bullshit. Okay? Which which is why I had a problem with the I Quit match last September with Finn Balor and Edge
Mm,
because the I Quit stipulation is supposed to be the blow off,
yeah,
but instead everybody got involved and there wasn't a clean finish.
yeah.
Edge only quit because they were going to concerto Beth and they still ended up concertoing Beth.
I love mommy.
Right. You know, so to me, as long as there is a definitive winner and loser in the feud,
Mhm.
cool. I don't really care who goes over.
That brings me back really quickly.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind seeing Copeland feuds with Osprey for at least for a month.
Mm. Just give me that match on TV.
Yeah,
Give them like 20 minutes.
give him the last half hour of Dynamite.
Just yeah, give them the last half hour of Dynamite.
Yeah,
They'd tear the
but
house down.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
TBS title. We have a new TBS champion, TBS Women's
Julia
Champion,
Hart,
Julia
man,
Hart. That girl has
has
come a
improved
very long way.
immensely.
Oh yes, from her time the cheerleader and with Griffin and what's it called,
Pillman
Pillman
Jr. Yeah.
Jr. She's come a long way from that. I never liked that character. I thought they were very annoying, the Varsity Blondes. I know it was a kind of like a tribute to the Hollywood Blondes with Austin and the late Brian Pillman, but she's come a heck of a long way. I really like the character she is playing
She
House of Black.
when she joined the House of Black, it was like a switch flipped. Like she has the charisma
Yeah,
and she just needed the wrestling ability to match it.
yeah,
And she's got there.
yeah.
Like like I can see her by the end of next year
Yeah.
being the AEW women's champion.
I think you got a lot of credit to that one, up to Malachi Brock and then Brody King for that.
Oh, for sure.
Like I think
I'm
hooking up
sure
with
they've
those guys,
dropped loads of wisdom
yeah,
on
especially
her
I'm a big Malachi Black fan or Alistair Black, whatever you want to call him, Tommy End. I'm a
that
fan
dude
of
is yeah.
I'm a fan of Malachi Black. His dojo looks really cool.
Oh,
I wouldn't mind
there's
doing like a session there just for fun.
there's another one. Osprey and Black.
Oh, it needs the right story, I think, but
That that
that'd be a good match.
that makes me hard just thinking about it.
Yeah, that'd be a good match. Like I, especially
Because
the way Malachi has really got his body set because his body's changed a lot since his time in WWE.
mhm,
He's way more cut, trimmed. His diet is pretty much on par, so it's looking really good. Like
yeah,
I enjoy it.
100%.
I enjoy. I like the House of Black though. I'm a big fan. As I know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. I'm a fan of the House
One
of
of the
Black.
best theme songs in WWE history.
Oh yeah, I love listening to music. I love listening to it at the gym. It's great.
Um,
Um, Other women's match. Hikaru Shida
and
lost
Tony Storm. Tony
Tony
Storm.
Storm.
So
She is the new women's champion, Tony Storm.
the finish I didn't like, you know, putting the plate in her ass to do the hip attack. And then the plate falling out in front of the referee and the referee blatantly ignoring it.
Oh, playing blind man.
Yeah. I mean, that aside, I knew this was coming because Tony Storm has struck gold with this
It's a really
starlet
interesting character.
timelet. Well, it's a throwback to like a 1940s
Yeah,
movie star.
yeah, really is. Like
And
the time like Marilyn Monroe and early Elizabeth
that's
Taylor.
that's immediately what I thought of when I first saw the gimmick.
Yep.
Was I immediately thought of Marilyn Monroe,
Yeah.
and I think that's where a lot of the inspiration comes from. Um,
Yeah. Very overdramatic actress.
oh yeah,
Very
watch
very
for the
good.
shoe,
Yeah, really stepped herself away from them.
the heart ripoff,
Yeah, and no,
the Barracuda ripoff.
oh fuck. Because you know what it was, right? It was basically the same gimmick in W that she did in WWE.
Yeah, it was
This
well, it was
changed
the
this
same
shit they
thing.
changed the thing, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was the same thing she's been doing pretty much her whole career, that kind of like punk rocker type,
Yeah.
like,
80s,
that
90s kid.
knows how to kick ass.
Yeah.
And,
It's just
you know, I enjoy Tony Storm's work as a lead, and I think that
well, her the outcast is pretty cool.
so, but that's the thing, like,
That can only go so far.
I don't know where you go from here with the women's division, because like it's not like there's a lot of them that are like lining like are like star level, ready to challenge Tony Storm. I mean, you have your usual suspects. You have, your Britt Bakers, or Sarayas, Ruby
Yeah.
Soho.
That's probably gonna that's a Soraya match probably gonna happen.
Yeah. However, there's two comebacks that need to happen that will be a good shot in the arm for the women's division, and that is Thunder Rosa, who's been out of action for like a year and a half,
I think she's coming back.
and Jamie Hayter.
That one's gonna happen soon.
Yeah,
Because that
I think
was what an ACL. It was a tear in the leg. I know that.
yeah, yeah, she tore apart her ACL.
Yeah.
And so she'll like I think she's scheduled to be back the beginning of next year.
Well, Hayter's definitely gonna go for that title right away because I
Well,
mean, she lost.
she's the former champion.
Yeah, I like Jamie Hayter. She's quite a very good wrestler.
Again, like I was saying about Julia Hart,
Yeah.
I will give the AEW women's division this. Okay.
Mm,
Are the matches always like bangers? No,
no.
not really.
No.
But
Say that's same in WWE though too. They're all
all
really
of
bangers.
all of them
Yeah.
have a level of charisma where you can believe like they're not just side attractions anymore,
Yeah.
right? They're not just arm candy or whatever, or piss break
Diva,
matches.
divas.
Yeah, they're not piss break matches
No.
anymore.
No.
Um, I mean, I think the women's division over there just needs better chemistry, whether that's working together more.
Well, they had it with like okay. I think the best rivalry they did was probably the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa thing. That was probably the best one.
That's the first one that came to mind
Yeah,
when you said that.
that was probably the first one, the best one out of all of them. They haven't really recreated since. They just
Right.
haven't been able to. I don't know why. It could be a lot of things. I think they have something with Saraya and Tony Storm, but I think Saraya's neck might be also. I mean, I know she's cleared, but it could also be an issue too. So I don't
Right.
know because she hasn't wrestled in a while. Now she could only be an attraction thing too. I don't know. Like I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what her deal is.
No, there
And
could be
I
a
I
lot of
don't
things.
I don't mean that in like I don't know what her problem
No,
is. I mean
yeah,
that is
it's
I don't know what her contract states.
yeah, and it could also be a health thing too, right? So her neck,
Sure.
right? Like
Yeah.
she did come back from a neck thing, just like Mr. Copeland did, and just like Brian Danielson did. But
Yeah.
her neck could be a lot worse than what it is.
Speaking of Brian Danielson,
Yes,
on a scale of 1 to 10, how intrigued are you by him and Okada going at it again at Wrestle Kingdom?
I think it's gonna be good. Like it's not gonna be bad. It's gonna be
No,
good.
it's not going to be bad.
Like it's gonna be good. That's just the cold hard truth, right? Uh, I think Okada gets his win back.
I think it'll be better than the one in Toronto, barring anybody getting hurt mid-match.
Yeah, I think Okada gets his win
But
back.
but it's funny because I think it's hilarious how good that match was in Toronto, despite the fact that Danielson wrestled the last 10 minutes with a broken arm,
Yeah,
right? So I can only like so they weren't really able to go to that high level that they're both able to go at,
yeah,
especially go watch any Kazuchika Okada match.
yeah,
After he hits that Rainmaker pose, shit gets crazy.
yeah,
That's like false finish city
yeah,
until he finally hits the Rainmaker. But
yeah.
okay, so
So,
what's left to cover?
well,
The ladder match
the ladder match, the tag team ladder match with House of Black.
where Brody King
Um,
tried to kill Drillisco.
yes.
Like,
Uh, Big Bill and Starks won that. I'm a little disappointed it wasn't the House of Black, but that's just me. But yeah, that also makes sense too. To be honest with you, those guys are placeholders right now for the winning team of the Golden Jets of Kenny Omega and Jericho that they beat the Bucks.
well, they
So
did beat the Bucks.
yeah, because they beat the Bucks, so there's a placeholder for that team. We're gonna lose the titles to those guys. Fact.
I think that based off of the things that happened in that match, uh,
That the Bucks gonna
great segue by the way. The things that match was like your basic Bucks Omega tag match. Okay.
yeah.
High spots everywhere,
Yeah.
double team moves all over the place.
Mm.
But I really did enjoy the heel work by the Bucks because even though they're supposedly friends with Kenny, they did not care. They still kicked Kenny right. Matt kicked Kenny right in the balls,
Yeah.
and I liked the subtle. There was one part of the match. There was something so subtle that, and I love it. Both Jericho and I believe it was Nick Jackson were down, and Omega was in the middle of the ring, points the V trigger at Jericho, comes off the ropes, fakes giving the V trigger to Jericho, and then blasts Nick with a V trigger. Because again, the psychology behind that is like you're thinking, okay, well, Omega, like the Bucks are still Omega's best friends,
Yeah.
right? So, um, but I guess spirit of competition or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. But I think the Bucks go full heel very soon if it hasn't already happened.
Yeah. You know I know I said Starks and Big Bill are gonna lose titles to the Golden Jets, but also it's a good possibility the Bucks cost
That's
them
what
the
I think.
titles. It's a good point. I think just go full out
It,
bricks.
I think we're set up for another Bucks title run, and here's how I think it's going to happen.
I think it's gonna be a long run.
I don't know if it's going to be a long one, but I can assure you it's probably going to last till probably Revolution, if not Double
All
or
right.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, double.
If not Double or Nothing,
Yeah.
the longest I would say it goes is Wembley.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see World's End being that match,
Yep.
the Golden Jets versus Starks and Big Bill.
Yep.
I can see the Bucks costing uh, Omega and Jericho the titles, getting themselves a match on like Dynamite or Collision,
Yep.
winning the titles through nefarious means,
Yep.
and then you can just kind of heat a tag team up. You can, because I don't think the Omega Jericho thing needs to go on much longer, especially once the stuff with the Don Callis family is all said and done.
Yeah. Once they finally do that whole blow off for Cal, I can't imagine being too much longer because it's just getting at the point now. Like,
They don't need to be tag team champions, is what I'm saying.
I think they're going to win them. I just don't think do they need them? No. But do I think they're going to win them? Yeah.
Well, then fine. Okay. So you say you have Omega and Jericho beat Starks and Big Bill.
Yeah.
I bet you the Bucks take it from them by Revolution.
Oh yeah, that's probably a really good possibility too.
I bet you they do the rematch at Revolution, and the Bucks get the titles.
It's probably possible.
So
One of those scenarios that we just mentioned are going to happen.
I think so. I think it's like those are the two most A logical scenarios, B most likely scenarios. So we got what, 2 matches left to talk about? The big two?
Well, let's go to the death match.
Okay. Okay.
I'm calling
So
it that because
it was a death
it was along the lines of what you would see from Nick Gage.
GCW. Yeah.
Yeah. So
This is one of the bloodiest matches I've seen in a long time.
yeah.
And to be fair, I haven't even watched the whole match. I've seen bits and pieces.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of bits and pieces. Gives me enough to know what the hell happened.
But this was not the result I thought it was going to be.
You thought Hangman. I think a lot of people thought Hangman. I don't think you're the only one.
Well, again, I thought it was going to be that 50-50 booking that that not only is wrestling known for, but Tony Khan's known for. Set up the rubber match at World's End. But no.
I mean, you're not. Like I said, you're not alone in thinking that. Like a lot of people thought that.
Oh, of course.
Right. I think I thought that. I'm pretty sure everybody did. That's the swerve.
Yes. Which, by the way, one of the coolest entrances in wrestling right now. Nana dances like an idiot. That's apparent. But the fact he's got that dance over.
Yeah.
To the point that they had a dance crew come out with Nana to lead Swerve to the ring. And very quickly on Swerve, on Sunday, he was at the Chargers-Packers game at SoFi. And I guess at SoFi, they do this thing where they say, "Whose house?"
Oh, yeah.
And you could just see him like rolling his eyes. Then he looks at whoever's holding the camera and he's like, but you could hear people in his section yelling Swerve's house.
Yeah.
So that was funny. But okay, the match itself, I don't even know where to start. I mean, Hangman.
I think the most messed up part of that match to me wasn't necessarily Hangman drinking Swerve's blood. It was when Swerve took the staple gun and just did this cling, cling, cling onto his chest. Like, that's messed up. Okay. I mean, I expect that from Mick Foley.
So, quick sidebar here. I was explaining this match to my wife last night.
Oh, that should have been fun.
I was in my living room. I was watching Raw, and very rarely she'll sit down and she'll watch, I don't know, 20 minutes with me. But she'll ask me questions. And she brought up the fake part of it again. I was like, and then of course I had to go into every wrestling fan's defense about how wrestling is. And she's actually come around to the fact, like, she understands wrestling a lot more now that she's been with me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Than she did beforehand.
Yeah.
But I was explaining to her some of the things that happened in this match with Swerve and Hangman last night.
Yeah.
And the look on her face was priceless.
Was it horrifying?
Oh, yes.
Because I know your wife, man. I definitely, I can see that. I see it like, I can see it like, I can see the look be like this.
She was like, "What the fuck?"
Like,
and anyways, what I wanted to say at the beginning of this match is I don't know if there's a bigger, like a better big match wrestler in the world right now than Hangman Page. When the lights are on bright and it's a big event, that dude delivers every single time.
There's a few guys you could put on that list right now. Hangman's on it for sure.
I can't
Uh,
remember the
you,
last
you,
bad
you,
Hangman match.
oh, he's had a few, but he's had a few, but they're mostly on Dynamite,
Right.
right?
But
On pay per view wise, no, but like he's in their top performers right now at big lights. Like if you think about it, you got Reigns obviously in big light matches, right? You got Charlotte who's in there for big light matches. Same with Becky. Hangman's
mm,
there. Uh, they have their moments, but Orton's had a
I
few.
just mean putting on the most consistent performance.
Oh, okay. Well, Reigns is probably on that list.
Yeah.
Other
I
than
mean,
Reigns, if we want to talk AEW, then Omega.
yeah. Omega. Well, I mean his one-on-one with Takeshita wasn't fantastic, but
No,
uh and I kind of feel bad for Takeshita at this point because when he turned on the Elite and Omega, this was supposed to catapult him.
yeah,
But somewhere along the line, that feud stopped being about Takeshita and it started being about Don Callis. But
yeah. I think because they want to push the whole Don Callis family thing. I think that's why, and now he's just there.
yeah, but so let's see. Back to this insanity of a match.
You know.
Um, let's see. I don't know how many different ways to use a barbed wire wrap steel chair. Jesus Christ. There was one shot I saw Swerve hit Hangman. Hangman was standing on the second turnbuckle and Swerve hit him, but a piece of barbed wire wrapped around the face of Hangman.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my God. And then, yeah, we can talk about that spot. Hangman grabs a picture of that was presumably finger painted by his son.
It's a good possibility it was.
Probably, but I mean that's kind of where this whole thing started. This
Yeah, the
whole,
home invasion thing. I was really insane with that one.
but yeah, staples it to his cheek,
Yeah,
rips it off, and then as blood is leaking out of Swerve's face, Hangman pulls his head down, drinks it, and then spits it out like he's Gangrel.
you know what? Let's entertain everybody because that's exactly what he just did.
Let's talk about the finish of this match because it wasn't even two buckshot lariats.
No,
It wasn't a dead eye onto a barbed wire table.
no.
I mean, Prince Nana got a dead eye through a table off the apron,
Mm-hmm.
but that kind of led to the finish where Swerve hits Hangman with a cinder block in the back of the head and then proceeds to hang him over the top turnbuckle with a chain.
Well,
And
his name is Hangman.
yeah, I found great irony in that.
Yep.
And I'm sure they planned it that way.
Oh yeah.
But maybe the use of that chain sets up a dog collar match. That's the only reason I can think of
If they're gonna
as to
do if they're gonna do it, they're gonna have to try to must have tried to erase the whole CM Punk dog collar match.
I don't I don't
I think it's a
I don't
possibility.
understand. I get it. And I hate this idea that CM Punk always fucking comes up. Okay. I hate it. Because, like, yes, that man did great work in his first year in AEW, and then
Yeah.
spent the last year and a half being a bitch. Okay, I don't care what happens with CM Punk. This, I think that I think that bringing out the dog collar, okay, cool. Dog collar matches are few and far between in wrestling.
I'm just saying. Well, the AEW's are like three of them. Well, they would if this there would be a third one then. If this be the third one then if they do it.
Right, because there was Brody and Cody,
Brody and Cody, and then the Punk and
Punk and MJF,
yes,
which fine. I mean, the company's turning 5 next year.
yeah,
I don't. It's fine. One a year. That's okay.
yeah. I mean,
But
it's something to look forward to, right?
right.
Uh, but yeah, I to be honest, Swerve's won twice. I don't see it being a blow. I don't see it being a blow off match. There might be one, but I don't see the point of it. If Swerve's already won two in a
Right.
row,
Including a Texas death match.
yeah. So I really don't see the point of it. If they're going to, great. I mean, people tune in and watch it. The first, but all it's going to come to then is how can we top that one?
I
Good
don't
luck.
think I don't think they're top in the death
No,
match.
I don't think they are at all. So what's the
But
point of
but
doing
I
this second
don't
one?
no. But that's the thing. You don't necessarily have to top it. Just bring out a quality performance. That's it.
It's just a
Because
straight wrestling match.
what they turned out, according to fun of the main event, dude.
Yeah,
MJF, who was taken out by the guns on 0 hour and sent to the hospital.
yeah.
And uh
The big news coming out of that one before even the man even started was Adam Cole was going to wrestle.
yeah, like they pulled this kind of bait and switch type deal where Adam Cole was going to defend for MJF. And um yeah, there's no way that was actually going to happen.
No,
And then MJF showed up driving the ambulance like he's stone cold.
Stone Cold or other
but
people like yeah,
but bro, MJF
yeah.
has got to be one of the best in the world, man. The things
Well,
that dude does, wrestling just makes sense to him.
well, it's funny because you mentioned before on this show
Mm-hmm.
that that the top three on the PW Insider
What's
was
the
the
Shield?
Shield. Now you got to figure next year's will probably be similar, but I think MJF is number one.
Yeah, he's got to get a PWI 500 number one,
Yeah, I mean, where was he this year?
8 or 9.
Really?
Yeah,
That's kind of surprising.
because PWI bases everything in like kind of kayfabe.
Hmm, I guess,
Um,
but it's still kind of like
yeah.
when you look at it, he's had a really good year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, I know Rome is a spectacle at this point, but I mean, it's you almost like feel like he got shammed a little bit. But I figure next year he should get number one, right? Next year should theoretically be him, Reigns, maybe Cody.
I don't know how long you keep Roman Reigns in the top conversation if he's only wrestling 13 matches a year.
Yeah, but they're big matches though.
I know, I know. He draws the most money of anybody
Yeah, I think
in
that might be
wrestling.
that could be what they're basing it on. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how they really vote on it. I don't know. Like I know the 1 year Reigns probably should have won it, but they gave it to Omega. It was a
Right.
couple. I think it was a couple. Like I think it was like a year ago or 2 years ago they did that. They did have a PW Insider. So
So let's go through this match, all right?
yeah,
So
let's
just
go through this.
a couple of cool spots during the match, and then we'll talk about the finish. MJF did something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Jay White came rushing into him at the corner and he went to back body drop him over the rope into the turnbuckle. And as Jay White was posted up, he hit him with a super kick on the way down.
Yeah.
It was really cool. It was a nice tight camera shot.
Yeah.
Um,
Jay,
and then also MJF ran. Jay White's on the apron. Okay.
yeah.
MJF runs, hurdles over the top rope, and delivers a cutter to the floor to Jay White.
That could have went very, very badly.
Oh yeah, that could have went wrong big time. But it didn't. They're good. So the finish of the match, ref goes down and Adam Cole pulls out the dynamite ring for MJF. Jay White gets a hold of it as he's about to punch MJF. He gets low blowed. MJF takes the ring. Boom. Still AEW champion, MJF.
I don't think anybody really pictured Jay White winning
No,
that match. I just don't think. I think it was just bigger plans. I think. I think also I think the bigger shocker though of that at the end of that match though was
is
the
they
fact
didn't
that
reveal who the devil is,
yeah,
which
I think
means
that's
that
the biggest thing.
I think they're saving that for World's End.
Has to be. I mean, it
I
makes
think,
sense.
well, there was a rumor out this week that he's quietly re-signed, and I know you've said to me before you think he already re-signed.
I think he did it like 6 months ago.
Yeah. I don't know where I feel about it.
Hmm.
Like Max knows there's a lot of opportunity for him in WWE. However, he's basically put AEW on his back for the last year.
Yeah.
Like as champion, he has had probably the best matches in the company all year.
Yeah.
Outside of Omega and Osprey in Toronto.
Omega Oz, yeah.
But the
That's
Iron Man match with Danielson, the matches he had with Adam Cole, the whole stuff through the summer,
yeah.
and into now.
Well, this whole angle alone has been very interesting.
Dude, there's layers and layers and layers on this.
This guy's been part of some of the best moments right now in AEW, just so you know.
Oh yeah.
Like some of the highest grossing moments in AEW's history over its 4 year span.
Four and a
Um,
half, yeah.
has featured MJF.
Oh
Like
yeah.
if you look back on the whole thing because Chris Jericho, well, we'll start at the top, right? Started with Cody, right?
Yeah.
That was good.
Turning on Cody.
They go into war with the whole Pinnacle thing with Jericho, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then you move on towards the CM Punk stuff.
Yep.
I know you want to mention CM Punk, but you can't mention MJF without having CM
Oh,
Punk in that conversation.
that's not what I meant when I said that earlier.
I understand that.
I mean like every it seems almost everything being brought up these days,
Yeah,
it's almost like a running joke now that there's some sort of reference to CM Punk.
yeah. I think it's Punk is the way he left.
I don't know,
I
man.
don't know, but I mean,
Do you think he's going back to WWE?
it's not going to surprise me if he goes back. He's not coming back this weekend. That's a fact. If he comes back anywhere now, if he comes back at all the WWE, it's Rumble.
Well, now that Randy Orton has another great segue though.
Yeah.
Now that Randy Orton's been revealed as the fifth member,
Mm-hmm.
now people are trying to say that he's going to answer Nakamura's open challenge.
When did that come out?
Like last night. Like
I don't see that happening.
this is what I was reading through it today.
What Mark put that out?
A bunch of stupid ones.
Yeah, because I don't see that at all. I think that's just CM Punk fanatics that want. But look, I like CM Punk, but I think some of the crap that's gone on the past couple times is absolute nonsense. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think the CM Punk now nobody wants to deal with. Nobody. I mean, WWE
No.
will do it just based on a financial reason, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, but
But
there's really to me there's only like a handful of money matches you can do with CM Punk.
yeah, at this point, there
In
you're
WWE, you have Reigns, Rollins, maybe Cody,
McIntyre.
maybe well, I don't know how well they'd mesh.
It'd still be good. I mean, it's the
Well,
same. It's the same thing though, too, right? Like,
here's
I
something you have
mean,
to realize though.
yeah,
Just because two guys individually are great in the ring,
that doesn't mean they're always gonna be good in a
it
match.
doesn't
Right?
always equal a good match.
No, because as long as they're willing to put egos aside,
Yeah,
then it'll be a good match.
yeah.
Some guys just aren't willing to do that. Like we mentioned earlier about a few minutes ago about MJF with WWE. The thing I think the one thing I will just want to go back to that really quickly was I don't think MJF and WWE, as much as I would like to see it, I think a lot of people would like to see it, and as much as he hold bidding for 2024. I think, like I said, I think he resigned 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I don't think him going to WWE would. I think you'd handcuff him. I think in AEW he has no handcuffs,
Yeah.
whereas I think in
He
WWE,
doesn't have to play by those PG parameters.
yeah, in WWE, no offense to AEW, they'll eventually get there, and you'll eventually see the whole. They'll have to change theirs as well, probably.
Only if they ever go public.
Only if they ever go public, right? But they're a public. WWE is a publicly traded company. Yes, they're under Endeavor and TKO. Yes, but
Yeah.
they have
But
sponsors. They have
they've
all sorts of massive things they have to
yeah, but
do.
they've also been a publicly traded company since 1999. So
Yes. So
they they've had to tone it down at some point
yeah,
because the reason why they got away with half the shit they got away with back then
yeah,
is because they were pulling in monster numbers on TV.
yeah, and it was also
They were
yeah.
pulling in numbers like comparatively to today, like NFL numbers.
It's also a different time period.
100%.
Just
Society was a lot less
sensitive,
sensitive.
right? I don't think MJF would really work as well in WWE as it does in AEW.
Hmm.
That's just I could be wrong, and that's fine if I'm wrong. Whatever. It's an opinion,
Yeah.
right? But do I think he'd be do I think he'd be
I
handcuffed in
think he'll end
WWE?
up
100%.
I think he'll end up there eventually.
Of course he will.
I just don't think it's going to be this deal.
No, I think a lot of people eventually will go to WWE who said they never will. I think Omega will eventually go. I think Osprey will eventually go. I think the Young Bucks will eventually go.
Osprey's an interesting one because
Yeah,
he had the ticket.
yeah. I think he eventually goes. Although when you look back at Osprey's deal, it allows him to stay in the UK,
Yeah.
whereas a WWE deal would he be forced to move to Tampa
Or somewhere in the
or
States.
somewhere in the US? Probably more or less Tampa.
Yeah.
Um, so that's there too. But with the returning Randy Orton now, that kind of shuts the door on a lot of things for a little bit of time. That gives WWE time they probably need because you're looking at now if they would have signed Osprey, but that would have left. Yes, I know they're a multi-billion-dollar company.
He wouldn't have been showing up till the Rumble anyway.
No, but I don't think.
Because
I think they want to
because
re-sign Drew. I think they want to re-sign Drew.
right.
I think they want to re-sign Becky. I think that's not going to leave money. That's going to leave not money on the table. And someone like MJF is going to require a big deal.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's gonna be like a Reigns deal,
I don't.
but
There's
probably with more dates.
there's nobody on planet Earth, or sorry, in wrestling,
Mhm.
making more money than Roman Reigns.
Compared to Brock, will Brock make more money?
When you consider merch and
Okay,
shit
okay,
and
that's okay.
sponsorship,
Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
like when you include Reigns' royalties,
Yeah, fair enough.
he probably clears Brock.
Yeah, probably by million. Yeah, you think about it that way. Yeah, probably right. But no. So Survivor Series weekend though.
Yeah, we
With
already
Ray,
talked about it. We
yeah,
talked about it on the last show, like
yeah,
kind of gave our picks and shit.
yeah.
I
With
just kind of
Randy
wanted,
back.
I just want to talk Raw, basically from
Okay.
last night. And
Well, this segues into Raw because Randy was not said was
no,
not,
they didn't say Randy Orton,
but
but
they
they
implied.
they implied, and then the social team afterwards confirmed that
Yes.
Randy Orton was indeed going to be a part of the match. So basically, show starts off another brawl between Team Cody and Judgment Day.
Well, it would start off as
This
McIntyre, right?
this was after Drew came out
Yeah.
and said that he hasn't joined the or joined the Judgment Day, but he will be with them at Survivor Series. Um, which led to another brawl, which led to Pierce coming out. And dude, over the last couple of weeks, I think Adam Pierce has fucking had it.
Oh yeah. It's a brawl every week.
There was a couple of moments in Raw segments they put him in where you could tell that dude just needs a fucking vacation.
Well, yeah.
And it was funny as fuck. Especially, I'll talk about the other segment in a minute.
Yeah.
So basically, he tells both sides they have until the 9 p.m. hour. They have until 9 o'clock to tell them which side or who's gonna go into
Who's gonna
them.
be the main event?
Yeah, who's gonna be the main event, which ends up being Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Um, so
We're
I
doing a
didn't.
little bit by that match actually. We'll get to that though.
Yeah, so when I tuned into Raw, because like I said at the top, I actually watched Raw for 2/3 of it live.
Mm-hmm.
When I tuned in the middle of a banger of a match between Becky and Xia Li,
Mm. That was a good
which
match.
really good TV match.
She's come a long
Becky
ways, Riley.
Becky won. Damage control jumps her coming through the crowd,
Yeah.
or they were coming to jump her and then got jumped by Charlotte and the gang.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and they were left standing. I still think that damage control is turning on Bailey at the end of War Games.
I think it's inevitable. I think it's
Absolutely.
inevitable.
I think absolutely it's
Yeah,
inevitable.
I don't. I mean, if it doesn't happen at Wargames, it happens on SmackDown for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like, I just think it's inevitable. Like,
Oh yeah.
I like where damage control's kind of going with this, though. I kind of do. I think Bailey's run her course as a heel. Like, just
Yeah.
think about it, she was a heel through the entire pandemic.
She
Level,
turned heel. She turned heel pandemic,
yeah,
like late 2019.
yeah, and she's been a
She
heel
turned
ever
heel,
since.
and
She's been a heel ever
yeah,
since. So I think it's time for a change. And to be honest, with you, the whole thing's getting a little uh stale. Probably the word I'd use.
yeah.
Um, like
Well, the group's been around. The group's been around for 2 years.
yeah, but I think Bailey as a whole, as a person, as a character, I think has gone stale. Not damage
Right.
control in general. I think
Yeah.
Bailey as a character has gone completely stale for that right now. I think it's time for a change. I'm suggesting you don't go back to the huggy shit,
I
which I don't think they'll
I
do.
told you. I told you in our last episode. That's not going to happen.
No, right? But
But
I think it's going to be
yeah.
an interesting base change for sure.
Right. So after that, there was a um, there was a brilliant segment between Miz and Gunther.
Yes.
Setting up their match. Gunther can cut a hell of a promo, dude.
Oh yeah. He
Uh,
he is. You know what? He is the MVP this year in WWE. Go ahead and say it.
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
I I mean I don't give yes we acknowledge the tribal chief.
yeah.
We
No, no,
love the
no.
tribal chief,
Gunther's been MVP, absolutely.
but he's the MVP. There's
Um,
no way he hasn't. Anybody says differently, you clearly aren't watching properly,
and
or only watching certain segments.
there's infighting in Imperium now.
Yeah.
Ludwig Kaiser was trying to boss around Giovanni Vinci, told Vinci to stay in the back during his match with Gargano. Vinci came out anyway and ended up costing Kaiser the match. And they're arguing about it backstage. And Gunther tells Ludwig that maybe uh, Giovanni should be the one that should be his right hand. You know,
Mm,
so
yeah.
interesting.
Well, I think this might be time for a character change. Well, character change for Ludwig anyway. So, I mean, it's
Eh,
possible. I mean, it's some things. Imperium is Imperium. Imperium's been almost the same thing since it was when it was in NXT
2018,
UK. Yeah, right.
2018,
Yeah. So,
2017, maybe.
mm,
Maybe
no,
not that far back.
no,
2018.
no. Like
But yeah, my like
I don't. At
so
this point, I don't think Gunther really needs Imperium, to be honest with
and then this was the other segment that I could see Adam Pearce needs a goddamn gift vacation.
you. Yeah.
So it was filmed earlier in the day,
Mm.
and um, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are complaining again about something.
And Chelsea Green carrying character is bloody hilarious at times. She's a little
And then
bitch.
Tegan Knox and Natalia enter the frame.
You know, when did
We
that
just
become a tag team?
like last week,
Oh,
2 weeks
Jesus.
ago, and like the 15th time that like I don't know who has more turns in WWE, Natalia or the Big Show.
At this point, it's got to be Natalia.
At this point, it has to be Natalia.
Yeah, I
But
just.
like she's like a different alignment. She's a good guy one week, bad guy next week.
She's annoying.
But anyways, then you had oh who it anyways, it ended up setting up a 4 team
Yeah, with Chase Costanzo or Costanzo,
yeah,
Natalia and Tegan Knox. By the
right.
way, I like to finally do something with Tegan Knox, like
Max
well,
Maxine Dupree
and
and
Diamond Mines Ivy now.
Ivy Nile.
Yeah,
And for the life of me, I can't remember who the 4th team is right now.
who was it? Who was it? It was something silly.
Not important because they
No,
probably,
it clearly wasn't. No.
you know.
Yeah.
So, um, and I'm now blanking on who actually won that match.
Yeah. I think it was.
I think it was Tegan and Natalia.
I think it was Tegan and Talia.
Yeah. So,
Like I
anyways,
said, I'm happy. I'm happy to do something with Tegan Knox. She's had a rough go of it.
yeah. But I I heard Drew McIntyre's music hit. I look at my phone. It is 10:25
Mhm.
when Drew McIntyre's entrance plays.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to give him like half an hour. Nope, because the next 15 minutes was 2 commercial breaks and a bunch of video packages.
Wow, that silliness.
And then they bring out Jey Uso. Then they have the match.
It was a pretty
Uh,
good match. Pretty good match for what it was.
it was okay for what it was.
Yeah.
Judgment Day gets like Drew McIntyre gets the win. Judgment Day gets the advantage.
Yeah. By the way, that's kind of part I want to talk about here. It felt very sudden.
I think
Uh,
just the show was running long.
yeah, I think that's what it was too. Because I can't remember the last time I've seen Drew McIntyre win with
Future Shock.
Yeah, Future Shock DDT. I can't remember the last time I seen him
Maybe
winning
it's
with
one.
it.
Maybe it's one of those things. Also, though, like you sell the fact that that move can end a match.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
so
just it's just funny that it's like I haven't seen him. It's usually the Claymore.
which led to Judgment Day coming out,
Yeah,
beating up Jay again, and here comes the rest of the crew with steel chairs.
yeah.
They clear the ring. Cody gets on the mic, uh, and put every implication out there that it is Randy Orton.
Well, I like it. Well, the first thing you start off with,
He
you
has a
say that our
legacy,
person is I have a legacy with.
right? Well, that was
That
like
was the dead giveaway.
that was the dead giveaway too. But and then for some reason starts talking about how they're praising. I'm like, is this how they're gonna throw in the Apex Predator line? And
Yeah,
yes,
yes, it
that's
was.
where they put it.
You
And
know,
then
we all hear
he's playing
voices.
coy, like he's playing coy with the crowd and stuff. Like they know who it is too.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
just
so
saying.
I texted you after it happened last night, and I said
Yeah,
they blue balled us on the return.
they totally did. They totally just blue balled the whole thing. It's like they're like strippers. They just
Yeah,
they gave
exactly.
it to you and that was the end of it. They gave it to you and you got nothing in return. You didn't even get a happy ending.
Right.
So
And I think it's because they didn't want the crowd's expectation for him to say the name Randy Orton and then him not come out,
yeah,
which I think is why they did it that way,
more than likely.
which is fine. Chicago's going to erupt for Randy Orton.
Yeah, it's but Randy Orton is going to have a massive like it's going to blow the roof off the place. Last time we saw a guy was what a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so actually Ryan Satin on X put something out today,
Yeah,
and it was like 9 different things going on since when Randy Orton was last on TV.
yeah,
Vince hadn't retired yet.
that's true.
Pat McAfee was still calling SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sasha and Naomi had just walked out.
Oh yeah, been that
Uh,
long, eh?
it's been that long, right?
Jesus, that's been a year now. Yeah, been a
Yeah,
year.
year and a half.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And
Anyway,
Sasha Banks coming back next year too. Well, sorry, Mercedes Moné. My apologies.
yeah, she's hurt again too.
Yeah, she's supposed to come back this sometime early 2024. I heard. I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I've heard. But complications can always happen when it was a leg injury.
Who knows? Dude, Stardom's whole roster is fucked right now.
Mm-hmm.
They had a press conference today or yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about how they can learn from the WWE in terms of the athletes taking care of themselves. He's like, look, it's pro wrestling. Understand injuries happen, but they never happen this consecutively. Because they have like 12 to 14 of their full-time wrestlers are hurt
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Yeah.
And
Well, WWE has the model, right? They have the
and
model of it.
they just lost Kyrie.
Yeah, that's devastating. I mean, losing Kyrie alone. I mean, the fact that you're injured, that's one thing, but I think you lost Kyrie Sane is
Yeah,
devastating to your roster.
yeah.
That's. And it looks like she's going to be pretty prominent on SmackDown anyway with the damage control list going forward. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that being said, that brings us to another close of another wonderful chat. Um, Again, be sure to join us on Saturday over on YouTube, DA Wrestling Podcast. And we'll be live around 7:45.
First time doing it, so bear with us.
Yeah, first time doing it. Realizing we're going to be on camera for 3.5 hours. So
Yep. If I happen to leave in the middle of it, it's because I probably have to go poop.
that's unnecessary.
I figure you guys let them know. I'm weird.
No shit.
We all know.
Yeah,
You're weird.
you are weird.
Yeah, well, it happens.
But that being said, you can find the shows everywhere except Apple.
Apple don't like us.
I still gotta figure that out.
I don't know,
Stupid
maybe.
stupid Apple ID bullshit
No.
going on.
Mm.
Um, but you can find the show. Have Have you done the rebranding of the handles, or it's still DA Sports?
Still DA Sports for now. I haven't had
Okay.
a chance to do anything yet.
So DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X.
Yeah.
I am D Lions 1991 on X. He is April 1982 on Instagram, and Andrew at DA Wrestling on TikTok, because you're going to change that.
Yeah. Eventually. Like kind of like how it is right now. I don't know. I don't know. I we are wrestling, and I am doing all sorts of stuff. So
For Andrew, I'm
I
Doug. We hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you down the road.
will be down the road.